What is up, YouTube world? I got a few trinkets in the mail. Not a lot, which is fine. A little stack of excitement. So I figured to rip through those and something later in the week. I'd go through them as well. I have a few things coming in. It's sporadic, which is fine. We can all stand to go back in our collections and sort of take umbrage and pride in some of our past transactions, sort through things and such, and then just appreciate the collection that you've amassed. I'm very guilty of the get it, pay, physically acquire it, admire it, take a picture or whatever for Instagram, and then put something, put some cards up so you can at least look at something. And then off to the next one, off to the races. Which, it's fine. I don't want to do that though. That's when you don't appreciate or you don't feel you appreciate what you got. It sort of turns on a light and like, I should probably not even slow down. That's not the point per se. It's just keep your eyes in the backfield. I'll use like a football analogy. Keep your eyes in the backfield, because again, down the line. But make sure what you've got before you is accurate and accounted for as well. So, first couple cards here, with all that philosophy and nonsense. First 5 cards I'll go through. From a seller in the Czech Republic, we had some stuff up. Said if I won one card, I'd try to win some others just to, again, offset the shipping price. And then, again, just because there's a couple nice cards in here. So the Forsberg Mystery Finest Refractor. And a Shanahan dual refractor. Shanahan 96.7 score artist proof. That was a cheapie. Shocked at how cheap that was. And then bronze mystery finest of Sakic refractor. And the one I wanted to acquire the most, because I didn't have it, and I hadn't picked up a Sakic in quite a spell. But in the same vein, I don't want to say I'm not focusing on that, but it's true. I've sort of Forsberg, Watt, and for Sakic have more or less gone, not to the wayside completely, but with other stuff popping up. And again, with the 23,641,613 player collections I have, it's tough to delegate funds here, there, and everywhere. So a lot of the Brodeur acquisitions are taking the brunt of the financial responsibility. So And those, as you can have seen in the last few videos, those are slowed down. And it's not because there's nothing out there. It's just when stuff jumps even further, you're like, eh. There's things I've got in the crosshairs. It's just waiting to pull that trigger. And there's stuff I think I will pull the trigger on just because it's stuff I like. And a myriad of reasons. It's stuff I like. FOMO. At some point, somebody else is going to just jump in there and take it. So I'd rather get it done with, do whatever, and say, you know what, there it is. If I overpay by $20, that's fine. It's in the collection. It's a scarce card. That's fine. But love these, the shine on the old gold mystery finest. Those are case hits. 1 in 288. One of the 98, 99 tops. A couple cards here. There's one later too. Like I've said, TNT's really going all out with their supplies nowadays. It's in the Jamal Anderson, the scuff on that visual side as you're looking at the right hand side, the left hand side of the actual card. There's a scuff on the top load, but it's a 96 Pacific Crown Royale Keyshawn, one I didn't have. And again, it's one that if you're collecting anybody from these eras of sports cards, it would behoove you to pick these up. At some point, the old trickle-down effect is going to bump these. I've seen a lot of stuff pop for dumb prices. There's no real explanation. So the advice that I always give, if there's something you're looking at getting and you've sort of been putting it off for a little while, don't put it off any longer. Just because I don't want, for me as a collector, as somebody that knows it all too well, you sort of say, I'll get it later. Fuck it. It's down the road. We can deal with it. It isn't. It's you've gotta, as my friend, and I don't even remember what the character's name was from the movie, The Stoned Age. He says, I think it's Tack. Tack, I think, says you gotta jump on the grenade. And that's what you gotta do. You've gotta get it now or you're gonna be paying more. So, or risk being completely priced out of something that 2 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever it was, you could have got for like $100. Now it's $850 to $1,200 or more. So I don't know. That's the advice I'd have. But Jamal here, bottom right, numbered. $2.99. Keyshawn, no numbering, but case hit. 1 in 721, so an even further away from a case hit. Like I've said before, and there was one card I think last mail day that I said I had never seen before. Again, I am not the person that'll ever say I know everything. I know a lot. There's a lot of knowledge in the old noggin rattling around. I didn't know about those, and I bought a bunch of that stuff. So I don't know if that was a special a special pack configuration, but I think it was just the one type of pack for the 95 action-packed rookies and stars football. So it's called Bust Out 95. It's got sort of a, why is that friend not? Natron's in there too, so that's one I'll have to pick up eventually. But Barry, I don't know if him or Emmett, they'd be the best in the set. And then a card, JT had messaged me saying he had picked up a collection for consignment, and this was in there. Offered it to me for a $5, and said he knows my depths of depravity for JMJ, Joshua Michael Johnson. So to get another Topps Black, the update out of I think 09, 2010, number to 59, I've got a solid handful. Anytime they're in that $5 to $7 range, I try to pick them up. The Topps Heritage Black Refractors, anytime they're in that $10 to $15 range, I try to pick them up. I know I directed Mike O to Jimmy Jack Rollins. Super happy you picked that up, because again, 10 years ago, 8 years ago, those were the parallel cards. It wasn't all the Panini Prism stuff, because it wasn't out. The Prism stuff, unfortunately, has superseded that, but the black refractors for Topps Heritage are, I still think, leaps and bounds better. And they were so difficult to get. You just had Topps Heritage, you had the Heritage Chrome, the Refractor, and then the black. There was no Super, there's no Jumbo Mumbo, there's no My Little Pony, whatever it is. It was just meat and potatoes. So, thanks JT for that, reaching out to me, my man. I very much appreciate that. Didn't have to, but he knows I'm a sucker, and there's a sucker born every minute. Just ask a dum-dum. I don't know what I want to do here. It's not like really a secret. Okay, there's these friends. They're show stamped. I don't think, you can pick it up maybe on a sock and then on Brodeur's pad there, the blocker on his right arm. They're show stamped from the All-Star game in 2004 in Minnesota, numbered to 5. Gilmore's 1 of 5, I believe. Brodeur's 5 of 5. Just some oddball cards. Again, I get those cheap. I'm happy with it because, again, Gilmore's a Hall of Famer. I'm collecting Brodeur. If nothing else, I could find somebody that wants that and we can work towards something I want. But the reason I got those, this was in the same seller had that. 0304, Pristine, JR, Gold Refractor to 33, and that was like $11. I was stunned. I know he doesn't have the same depth of a following as a lot of these other guys have been picking up, but in the same breath, it's like, really? Okay. These are going to be the last two I'd show, but let's make a swerve on y'all. Still trying to pick up some Gretzky stuff. There's one seller, I think, out of New York State that's putting stuff up, and I'm trying. And it's expensive. I knew it'd be, but it's 1.5, 2 times more than I thought they'd go for, and I'm just like, ugh. Some nice ones in there, and that's nothing I could do. It's not like I wanted to pick up Gretzky 5-10 years ago. It's where you should always look for the guys that are the transcendent players. that's good advice. But at the same time, there's other players in the market that might not be transcendent, that might be decade players, a couple decade players, and or just the player collecting. That's where I that's the regret and the not regret. I keep going back to that. It's like, man, if you just would have had all 4 lanes of the freeway open instead of trying to drive on the shoulder the whole time. But I'm happy with the collection. I really like to have a lot more in it, but that's just me. I'm very like that. So that leather and laces, which is embossed, that's number 5,000. And this Brodeur is the O-Pee-Chee parallel, and there's a couple different. There's one that's not numbered, and this one, like right there, you can see to 50. So, and again, it's not. Oh, why there's like literally no focus on here. But you see that top right. It's just not beat up, but it's a struggle on the edges. But in the same vein, it's something that doesn't ever pop up. And I was hoping the seller would come down to my price. He sort of had a price in mind. I said, fuck it, whatever. That's one of those FOMOs. That's another one of the ones I'd like to. Pacific is the first one. I want to complete those because it's such a wide swath of serial numbered parallels. But the O-Pee-Chee and the tops are the other. That's 2, because that's got another dearth of oddball stuff. So now on to the new sort of collection, as it were. Super stoked. This fucking thing is not. But Carl Pickens, I've sort of danced around that. I've picked up some stuff, as you know. So, him and Herman Moore, those are the 2 guys I'm trying to. I don't know. I don't want to pick up a ton. I want to have. Key cards, I guess, which these 2 don't quantify as, but they were in a lot. So this is Pacific triple folder. You got Pickens, you got Jeff Blake, and then you got Darnay Scott. The redemption prize for the Crash the Game, and then Pacific 96, I think. And Pacific Blue parallel. There's a Quantum Leaf Infinity. Titans, again, nothing I really want to pick up, but to 25. And then the Edge Masters. I think this is the redemption set. Notated there by the R, 21 of 100. Love this one. So the one seller had like a bunch of this stuff. And well, I can get most of it. I'll be trying a little harder. So get the finest silver embossed refractor. And then Skybox Premium Thunder and Lightning. Very cool card. Again, super condition sensitive. If somehow you get a 10, you're doing stuff to acquire those 10s. But I love the silver, and then on the back too, it's got the refractor finish. Couple super, well, one super low numbered and one, I'd say, iconic, even though people don't like to use that word. It's tough shit. And 2000 playoff momentum X's. And the Flair, I think it's 97. I could be wrong. Oh, 97 Legacy. With his name, you got to keep an eye on that. That name has to be in blue, or it is not an aftermarket, but it's a backdoored version. That was like a replacement. And that X there, or the serial number, and it's the 31. It's because he was drafted 31st. So and the last two are monsters. Buy now, best offer on one. And I basically threw up the half price. And then this was the opening bid. I think I showed Steve before the auction even ended, because I had one of these before, a Bobby Hoying, and I sold that, I think, for like 65 way back in the day. But the Edge Masters, I don't even know what the hell it's called. I think it's a hollow platinum. I'll have to dig out the old baquette. But those two, and then the Stadium Club Chrome is if you look on his thigh there, it's above the Bengal. It is the first day issue, which has number to 25. I've also got the Curtis Martin, if you remember that from videos in the past. So, yeah, if you got any rarer, that's what I'm looking for. It's some of that first stuff, it was only acquired because it was in a lot, and I'm like, same seller had a lot of the stuff. It's like, I might as well throw $4 or whatever it was on that lot just to get it. Be done. I like the Pacific Blue. It's always something I like. And then the triple fold. That's a cool little insert out of one of my underrated favorite sets of all time. The raspberry and the blue raspberry, as it were, for the parallels, colored parallels. But yeah, it's slowing down a little, and that's fine. You have a little, if all your main stuff is going for stupid pricing, it's out of your price bracket for right now, where you're just like, man, that's, I don't know. I don't know if I want to spend, after seeing a card for like $80. Now it's at 200, and I really don't feel like spending that. It's not a rarer card or something on top of your lists. Just go and do some of that backfilling. Fill in those holes for the, especially if you're a player collector, a set collector. If you can't pick up the main rookie in the set, pick up some other stuff in there, and when the time comes when you can get that main rookie, guess what? You've got the rest there, and you don't have to sit there and constantly chase everything. So, I don't know. I will say, because I haven't said it at all, tune in tonight, 7:05 p.m. Central Standard Time. Insert Revolution podcast. Steve and myself will be talking a little about some myths preconceived notions, possibly, in the old hobby. So, and we're going to do it from two vantage points. One being, let's say your neighbor sees you getting a bunch of packages. Your girlfriend says, hey, really don't know much about cards. This is what I sort of thought. My baboo said that. And the good adventure dog questioned me as well. And then we'll have it sort of from our vantage point, more of the seasoned collector that it's like, okay, you try to pull a fast one on us or whatever. We'll discuss some of that. So I hope it'll go well, but this is one of the topics I'm sort of iffy on, but I think it deserves at least a little discussion about it. So we will talk about it. Hopefully get some of you guys and gals out there participating in the chat. Don't know who else will be on. Really haven't thought of a third or a fourth, but Insert Revolution podcast on the same YouTube channel tonight, 7:05 p.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. Take her easy, YouTube. She's easy? I don't know if I should be back. There's nothing up by the number. Take her twice.